Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to our podcast series, Fab at 50. My name is Joyce, popularly known as MJ's Lifestyle Fitness, and my co-host is
Akin Ario,
one and only
PA extraordinaire.
No PA in this matter. Nice one. How are you today?
I'm very well. And
you look well. I'm very well.
Thank you.
Can't
And
complain.
So do you.
Can't
Fuchsia
complain.
pink.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like we planned it, right?
I like this.
Yeah,
This is nice. Can you see? She even got all the accessories.
No, that was just coincidental.
You're
That was
tough.
just coincidental.
You're tough. You like your fashion.
I do, and coincidentally,
wow.
That's today's topic. We're going to talk a bit about fashion, which is
True.
just up your alley, as the British people would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a man
Whoa.
that can carry that purple, fuchsia, what color is it? And a pink hat. Only AK. Only AK.
You are lucky. We're grown up. I should have dyed my hair like green.
Wow, fashion. So, it's funny that we should start on fashion because I was having a conversation with my sister during the week.
Okay.
And we summarized that we should have, back in the day, and we talk about a lot of things on this podcast. It was a thing, you just had to be a lawyer, a doctor, a engineer, or what was the fourth one? I can't remember, maybe a teacher.
Engineer, doctor, lawyer.
And we were all creatives. When we look back at all of us now, we were creatives. And in hindsight, I should have just been a stylist. That
you
should
could say that.
Yeah, now looking back with what I know, But, it is what it is. And we're here today to talk about style and fashion and everything that encompasses it.
Yeah, so on that point, because I get to hear that a lot. And then especially for people like us, you would say creatives. Yeah. I get to hear that a lot. Yeah. But
what did we used to call it nowadays? Art students.
Art
students.
I think our parents were right, though.
To push us down the alley
maybe more down the middle, but not going as far as being an engineer or go to medical school.
Or be a lawyer.
Maybe law probably, you use law anyhow, whatever you choose to do. But most importantly, and as a nod to our parents and the time that we grew up in, the prevailing circumstances at the time were such that even as far as even up to today, you'll never be out of work if you're a lawyer.
True.
Push come to shove, you walk off the courts, affidavits or whatever, you earn a living. Doctor, nurse, you earn a living. Engineer, you earn a living. Accountant, you earn a living. So I think that's what
that was the
decision-making process at the time. That look, don't be dependent on your parents for too long. If you have these skills, you can earn a living. I remember talking to a friend of mine, Donald Duke, and he was saying, his daughter wanted to play music.
Yes, I heard him.
And he was like, normal, parents, you want what you think is the best
for your child.
So that's what our parents tried to do as well, what they thought were the best thing. So he sort of navigated in a way to say, okay, you can still do music, you can still play this instrument, but let's meet halfway. Some ways, not even halfway, some way. And that's what shaped those decisions of the time. However, as we are growing
now,
then more things are coming to the fore. Content creator, social media, event planner. Who needed an event planner when we were growing up? Just write to the local government.
Put a tent on the road.
Yeah, we're blocking one side of the road from Friday to Saturday, and then by Sunday and oftentimes they accede to your request. And you block the road, you rent drums, you talk to your neighbors, the cooking is done here, the cow is somewhere else. And that's how we roll. We didn't have event centers. So if you went at your time to say, I want to be an event manager, I want to own a venue, like, who's going to use a venue? When we just stay on the streets, we rent a canopy.
Music then.
So times have changed. And then the market as well has matured, has grown. You know, we're talking in another podcast about where we used to go to buy clothes, or we had to make our own clothes. And now you have fashion designers all over the place. Some are into adire, some is top fabric like lace and all the choice ones. Some is batik, and some is ashwebi. Some are actually, it's a business around ashwebi. It's always been. And now we're becoming more acceptable. And we're getting, and you know, that's the beauty. I was lucky growing up that I had Igbo friends. And their cultures, their food, I experienced early. Now we're getting influences from all over. There's a type of two-piece the men wear, they call it a certain name. I'm not, you know, there's the, you know, and people are wearing, and these days you can't say, oh, this is a Yoruba person, or this Igbo, or this an Hausa person, because the barbaric guys, I actually like the flow of those long flowy things, you know. And so we're wearing that, you know, so it's a beautiful thing that we're getting influences from all over.
So some of the styles, you know, let's move on to millennium, because I think that style came out, that thing came out when my son was pretty young, when they started to sag trousers. And I remember, I mean, I batted heads with my son about that. You don't need to. And then we did the research and we found out it was from prisoners, you know, and because they weren't allowed to use belts. And I said to my son one day, I said, why would you like to emulate somebody who is in prison? I don't understand. You know, so some of the fashion has been a bit, I mean, I won't even talk about today's fashion because in comparison to when we were growing up, first of all, let's even go back to when we were growing up, you know, to reveal...
Even if the wind blows your...
my mother's name. Reveal how?
Even when the wind blows up a lady's skirt, not revealing anything, she'll be so embarrassed. And, you know, but it's very obvious we live in different times.
Completely different
also
times.
Slightly different people. And that's, you know, that's natural. That at a certain time, there'll be this group of people, and they'll be builders, and they'll build society. And at another time, there'll be this kind of people. And there's another time where the musicians will be just on the fore. We've seen it with classical music in the 1800s, 1700s, 1900s. And we've seen it with the renaissance of Nigeria with music, you know. It's really a new era. Like what you were saying about what we used to wear. And if you bring those things the way we used to wear them, and the youngers, as I say, like millennials, see them now, they're probably not so keen. But, you know, I'm quite accepting of people and the way they are. But one thing, you know, that I don't think is decent, your trouser can be at any level if you choose. I'm not going to judge you, but to show so much of your underwear, almost like we can see the, you know, your whole thing, and your trouser is now hanging under your bum, your backside. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's good to see. I don't think. But you know, again, it's just various degrees of something. So when you find out you are doing something and it can maybe it's too much, it's the same way if you do some things, it might be too much.
Too extreme.
But more importantly, the sagging of trousers is secondary to how I feel inside when I see some women. I mean, you know, there's a lot, there's enough, and there's too much. So when you're doing too much, we used to call it rare by force, because really and truly, what do you need? This is what's required, and then you go just a little bit if you are that way inclined. And if you are the type that's inclined to let me just keep it steady, that's where you exist. That's steady, you're good. And that's what we say about classic dressing. It will always be in vogue. It will always be correct. It will always be nice. We have few people that dress well, it's not because they have 200 pieces of dresses to wear. It's just because they know this is what's appropriate for now. If it's a ball, it's a black tie event. These are the dresses that will be appropriate for now. If it's a disco,
you know what to wear.
If it's a beach party,
you know what to wear.
So it's just, once you just know, and some people have the knack to know just what is right. And some people push the envelope a little bit. Then that a little bit, it can now become too much. So, you know, so that's why I fight, because really and truly, I don't like it when I grimace and when I see some women, because the women, they're very important.
Very. And, you know, as a woman myself, I think it's very important that we feel sexy, you know, in moderation, you know, in body size, taking your body size, you know, somebody that is, for example, if somebody that is really slim, lepa, wears a certain outfit that is revealing, it probably doesn't look too revealing because, you know, they're lepa. But if somebody who is heavily endowed wears the same, it could trigger off a bit of a, I don't know, like you said, a bit too much. You know, but again, you know, the younger generation are teaching us that it's body positivity. No, body positivity. Because, you know, you can't even have a young female and try and tell them to tone it down. They'll be offended.
Yeah, and some in other climes, some would say body shaming.
Yes.
You are body shaming somebody because you say, why are you showing us you have so much of this? And, you know, and you see, but then what is right will always be right.
Correct.
So if you're not so confident about the size of your legs or the shape or the look, you have opportunities to cover them up. And if you're not so whatever, but then if you have an area where you're not confident, maybe the belly area, you should not be the first one to now highlight those areas where you really don't, you want to take eyes away from. And really, 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 like really inside the spiritual side of life, you know, it's a big part of me. It's a big part of you. We know better in a lot of ways. So, but that knowing is an ongoing thing that, you know, it's for everybody. It's a different gig. So we live and learn.
We learn.
So yeah, it's a thing that, you know, everyone to his own, because you're learning. I remember the days of the weave. Is it the wig?
Yes, the weave on.
The wig, the long one.
Yeah, the weave on that we used to do.
Is it weave on? Which one is weave on? The one you weave into your hair?
Yeah.
No, the wig, the long one. So I see some girls on Okada in those days. Okada was allowed, and the hair would be flying in like 2 miles behind. You know, very, very long.
Yeah.
But then you see that, say, why does your hair have to almost touch the floor? To that person, maybe they've all their life.
They've wanted long hair.
They've always wanted long hair. One thing, the hair didn't grow properly, or not enough nourishment, and they are very soft. And then there comes an advance in styling.
Yeah.
And now you can have hair on your head that's not yours.
It's not yours, yeah.
You know, and then you wear it very long. Then over time, you get used to it and say, no, it doesn't have to reach to the floor. It can reach to my bum, my waist, that's go to my shoulders, whatever your style is. But it's not one day. We're going to grow into and get used to,
So style, what do you think about style? You know, one thing that people say, like, you know, people say jokingly that, say you wear something, for example, for my birthday, I bought shorts for my 60th. Somebody said, oh, Mopoti Tagbani. What do you, I mean, what does that mean?
It means a lot, because what it is that people themselves feel at a certain age they should just crawl up somewhere and wait for the day the Almighty will call them.
God forbid.
So I think it's a thing. It's a thing that even you don't even expect much from yourself. Your children, if you are not lucky, don't expect much from you, because you already set that this is my life now. I brought some children, lucky enough to bring some children into this world. So I'm just going to be their slave. And then when they're older, their own children will come and I'll become secondary slave. And then that's my life complete. Absolutely. I don't have anything. I'm just living for my children. So why are you out partying? Why are you doing all these other things? Just go and wait at home and just do your nanny duties. Do you understand? And then there's some that says, no, this is my time. Yeah. This is me now. You know what I mean? I'm not allowed to swear.
No, you can't.
So this is my time, and I'm gonna do what I like. You know, and do you? And I think that's coming to the fore now. That when people are now recognizing that, as a matter of fact, if you love somebody, if you love yourself, and if you love the people you think you love, you should look after yourself. Absolutely. And it's not, you are not a bad mother or a bad person if you take time to look after and enjoy yourself.
Well said. I like that, because you know sometimes you feel that maybe you're the only one that wants to have that perspective, and maybe do you understand? Because everybody else is winding down, but there's no reason for us to wind down. And thank God for the streets of Instagram. I see 80, 90-year-olds that are really trendy and fashionable, and it's really inspirational. But going back to us, what inspires your fashion? Because this is a man that can wear a pink hat at 60 plus. AK, only you. You should accept your flowers.
I've toned down immensely.
What have you toned down?
I'm mellowed out. I'm more conservative.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I try to blend in.
I don't think you can ever blend in. AK, I was going to say, it's going to be a hard chore.
No, I just try to. But I don't subscribe to you're at this age, so you must just wear oversized buba and shokoto, and what. No. I owe it to my creator to live my best life joyfully without hurting anybody. Yeah, just go your way in peace. I owe it to my creator. And then also, your nature comes out in everything you do.
That is true.
So at work is the same way. These days, there's Ashwebi.
I don't see you do a lot of that. Put you on the spot there.
You don't see me a lot.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but
I don't tend.
But no. I don't think I'm really like an Ashwebi person. But I think people should just let guests know the colors. I was joking around that in December, everyone's having a function in December per day. You should all agree on one color. It's not like you have to change in the car or go home to change and you have 3 or 4 events. Let's just agree. Friday, 20-something of December is this color. And then the gele can be different. You can change that one. But so, yeah. And then the colors, for me, it's not just wearing. It's the mood. There's the mood.
Would you dress according to your mood, would you say?
Yeah, and what the occasion should dictate. Like, really, for worship, you don't wear, like, things to distract other people. White or black, just simple. Don't want you to look at me. I don't want to look at you. Just
want to focus.
Yeah, for party. Yeah, for dancing, the shoes have to be dancing shoes. But for ladies, my daughter was telling me that I remember how many years she had to wear like slightly illy shoes. Because I believe that if you're like a size 5 for ladies, you can wear anything you want. But if your feet are long,
like mine,
like a size 7, 8,
9, 10,
then you wear something flat. It looks like flippers, like you're going to swim, you're learning to swim. But if you have something that arches your feet a bit, it makes it shorter, and the heels tend to do that. And I think the ladies look more elegant in those kind of wear, the smart shoes, I'm sure because of the long hours you have to change. But my influences are the occasion dictates. I don't work in a bank, gladly, so I'm not restricted to dark colors.
Yeah.
I wear dark colors for solemn events and stuff.
So would you say you're a vibrant person? Because
oh yeah, I love colors. So I was gonna say even my glasses, I prefer like sunshine. So when I'm abroad, especially in England, and it's grey a lot of times, my glasses give me a different view.
Okay.
Because they're like yellow or orange or something. So what I'm seeing is colored. It's a bit, there's some vibrancy in it. So that I like colors. Yeah. So I like colors. I like to see colors. So if I'm not seeing the colors, I'd rather just wear them myself.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's what I try to do.
Okay.
Yeah. What kind of clothes are you most comfortable in?
Trousers.
Okay.
I'm a trousers person.
Okay.
I love trendy shoes.
Okay.
So I can go as far as wearing white shoes. I have no problem
All
wearing
right.
white shoes, and I know you don't either because I've seen you. But for me, it is stuff that I can move in. I also don't mind, a bit of what's the word I can put there now? I don't mind a bit of revealing a little bit of flesh as well, even though some will say at 60 you shouldn't. But I could wear something where my midriff is slightly shown. I have no problem in doing that. I can wear shorts. I haven't got a problem doing that. But I would like to think that I don't look garish.
So are you conservative in your outlook or just
I'm more
middle of the road?
Middle of the road.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Do you have favorite colors?
I don't. Funny enough, somebody asked me what my favorite colors. I don't. I can wear any color.
Okay, but if you check through your wardrobe, that will give you an inclination.
So I'm more of a nude.
Green. Color.
One color that I would never wear is red. I have nothing in red. Believe me.
Why?
I don't know.
For your skin, I think red will pop.
So people tell me it's just something that I just don't.
Oh wow!
I don't know.
Really, red?
I have nothing in red.
Maybe you've associated red with something.
Something that maybe in my childhood trauma, maybe there's something.
Okay.
But yeah, so red is a color that I really don't have.
Okay.
So what was my question?
So I was going to ask you.
Yeah, shoot.
So when there's a vogue or something is in, what's the word they use in Nigeria? Yeah. In fashion. Are you an earlier starter or you're a laggard?
Last.
Laggard.
Yes. I was looking at somebody's Instagram, I won't mention names, yesterday, and I realized that something that I have just bought, the person had 2 years ago. So I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that these were around 2 years ago. So I'm not one, I won't rush out and buy, no. I'm happy to be one of the last. It doesn't, are you,
all right.
Are you one of the trendsetters?
No, that would be a bit presumptuous. Well, I try and do my own thing. Yeah. I'm aware of what's going on. So if it's a what do you call it, style related event, you are meant to wear white. So I try
black tie,
wear ashwebi. I try wear some bits of the ashwebi.
I've seen you.
I'm not predominantly somebody that follows. But the occasion demands you wear this thing. So I'll try and wear that. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not... Over time, you're more like who you are, not the clothes you wear or the car you drive. Absolutely. And I was going to ask you, there's this thing that if, for example, Nozo decides to give us like $1 million each for lifestyle, for clothing, for example.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you express that vis-a-vis the natural thing that we will go for, which is the brands that we like? Because a lot of people, I feel, hide behind those brands. Yeah. And I'd like to. So for me, I don't wear brands clothes. I'm a high street person. Yes, I will buy. I am. I'll tell you where the brands come in. So in fact, I'm a cost person. Cost is my thing. Cost is very good though.
Yes, and I've been,
very good quality.
So I'm COS is really me. If you see COS, you see me. That's my style. So
nice.
I would head there. Unfortunately, because I'm quite tall, some of the brands, like Zara doesn't work for me. Zara is for my sister. They're small, petite, so Zara doesn't work. Where the problem comes,
the challenge
is the bags.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The bags.
The girls like the bags.
The bags. We all love the bags, you know. And with all this thing going on in China and America and all the revelation, I was thinking to myself, so, you know, maybe I could get a, you know, Hermes, but without the brand on it, just get it from the same people, it will see the same quality. But then I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be a Hermes, is it really? So that's where the tag comes in for me. And you?
All right. I think, okay, well, again, I respect and recognize that we're all different people. And what you need, maybe, you know, like really and truly, there's business opportunity now for stylists, image consultants, what you wear, how you eat, you know, package, etiquette. And some people are not so, they don't need so much of that. Some people are conservative. So they're at home, like you would say, you will not wear red. Some people are at home just understated. Some people, because of their position, they don't even want you to notice too much. So the way they play out is they're not going to drive the flashiest cars.
Correct.
They live. It's a plan. It's a style. Like the conservatives in England, it's a style. It's not to just come and you're quiet. I'm conservative. No, you can be quiet and be a rebel inside, and you do incredibly. So it's a style. And then when you think I'm a man of the people, you can also dress the type. The real inside is what determines who anybody is anyway.
Absolutely.
So you find that some people are not too bothered with X or Y or whatever. So there's room for that. And so when those people want to dress, I know my friends, they just say, Ario, take me to one of your tailors. And we go to one of these. In those days, it would be Savile or Jeremy Street. Well, where the individual tailors had their own, you know, you book an appointment, you come in kind of situation. And you do like 6 suits, 18 shirts, and maybe 6
nice wardrobe.
Ties to go with it, and a couple of shoes, you know. And that's like you've done a wardrobe change. And you're okay for like 10, whatever years. And there's some that just, you know, they have a weakness for certain things. You know, for me, I want to. No, I'm moving away from needing anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I get excited when I'm going to buy something.
Yeah. I will get excited, but it's not like I have to. No. I want to get to a place where I don't really need. Not craving anything. If I'm here, this is what you have. I'm not going to ask you for what you don't have.
Okay.
If I go to your party and it's amala you have and rice, jollof rice and whatever, and even if it doesn't taste, out of courtesy, I'm not going to ask you for whiskey. I'm not going to ask you for champagne. If it's beer you have, I'm at home. We are street boys. We don't need anything. We don't need anything for say I am. No. And for rest, I recognize that some people need, because it's like somebody saying, Aliko Dangote, what does he wear? He wears a lot. You have to look at the fabric the man is wearing to say it might be a 2-piece, but it's a quality 2-piece Aliko Dangote is wearing. And you cannot go to an employment or job interview wearing a 2-piece native. Aliko on the other side, who is interviewing you, can sit there and say yes or no. But you that want to make an impression, we still have the standards of what dark blue suit, nice tie. You can get up easily. When they call you for meeting, you are not fidgeting. If your suit is double-breasted, you can wear double-breasted, unbuttoned, sitting down. So when you get up, you don't have to force. If you wear a bow tie, you're not wondering where your tie has gone to. Is it in the middle? So these are things that just helps you to settle for the job you have at hand. And for women, I also recognize that fashion is a lot more to you ladies than it is to us guys.
Correct. Yes.
You know?
It is. It means a lot.
So what's your Saturday like if you have an event? Is there stuff you do days before to get ready? Or
So I would I don't really go out a lot. Contrary to what you think, I don't really go out a lot. But when I do get the occasional invite that I'm going to go, I would have prepared what I'm going to wear.
Okay. Then it might involve making stuff.
Yes, if it's an Ashwebi.
Okay, what's your schedule like for like Ashwebi, for example?
So Ashwebi, I would only take from any Mimo.
Okay.
They have to be close to me.
Someone you know.
Someone that is very close, dear to my heart.
Okay. All right.
That's my own Ashwebi.
Okay.
So I won't be taking it if I don't really know you.
Okay. Then you send it off to tailor.
I send it to the tailor. She will create a nice something. I would have seen a design.
Okay.
That can help me to look good on the day. We book makeup artists.
Okay.
Sometimes, yes. Gele person will come. Yes.
Do you change money?
If depending on the person. Yes, we try and have a little bit in
it's a lot of stuff.
Then the shoes, the bag, we try and coordinate that. But yeah, it's a lot. Owambes for me are stressful. Really? And I know we're getting older and there's so many of them because our kids are getting, they're so stressful. I really don't understand how people can go from one Owambe to another. But like you said, each to their own.
Yeah.
And if everybody was like me, it would be boring. Now, if you tell me you are having a house party. Okay, I'm in my element.
Oh, really?
Because there's no dress code.
Yeah.
I can come as I want. I would have planned my outfit and I'm coming to, like you said, enjoy myself and dance. For me, it's the dance that is key when I go out.
Yeah, it's saying that. I mean, we're talking about fashion, but oftentimes, maybe that's another subject for another day. I find that, people invite you to stuff.
Yeah.
They say fundraising dance, or we're having a ball, or we're having a party.
Yeah.
And the speeches, and this one must talk, all protocols observed, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I recognize you coming in, Joyce, with a fuchsia pin, a lovely bag, and all this takes time.
Yeah.
There are no rehearsals to it. And then the dancing part, it's almost on your way out. You just dance with your gift bag and go out. I feel that defeats the purpose because there should be a schedule. And also, what you find is that, like in the hot weather, for example, you don't go and put your event at 12 noon, 11, and you expect gele
to come.
Then the women are like looking so stressed out. Somebody's pulling the thing on your head. I'm like, why? The corset breathing.
That corset is a serious.
It's a bit, but a lot of people see all these glamorous people. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You have to plan. You have to buy. You have to accentuate. You have to look for the jewelry that goes with it. You have to. Your driver, you have to have a plan. Where we generally meeting to do the gele and makeup. There's a timing to that, and there's a poor guy sometimes waiting for all this to be done so he can go out.
Let me ask you a question. Wealth whispers.
Wealth whispers. Yeah.
Do you agree to that?
No.
You don't?
Describe that.
So, when you get a lot of people now saying, do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? But, that's very common in Nigeria. You get a lot of those. But whispers is, AK walks in and then I say to my friend, I don't know you, but I know of you. And then I say to my friend, do you know who that is? That is AK. And classy dress. The watch says it, the belts, the shoes, not too loud. It's like more bordering on conservative.
Well, we've departed from that. That's why I was asking you. Because, especially for men, it's a bit garish when you think you have a high-value wristwatch. There's only so much of your wristwatch that should show, ideally. And then also, do you know who I am? It's because you're really a nobody.
Absolutely.
Because if you wear somebody will recognize you already. And what's your deal if I know who you are? What is that? Who cares about that? And we do a lot of that. And sometimes I'm opportune to tell my governor friends, oh boy, you're meant to be a servant of these guys. The least you can do is be cordial and not let your uninvited 20, 25 followers just badge into somebody else's event and blocking. You take your hand off my chest. Hey, who's there? I didn't even notice the guy in the first place. Who are you? Who is this? I'm not.
For me, that is, I totally agree with you. I don't know how we got here. So story time. Based on that, who do you
think I am?
So I met somebody in the bank who said that. He said, "Oh, do you know who I am?" That's what caught my attention. I thought, "Who the hell are you?" So anyway, he waited for me outside the bank and he took my number. Truth be told, was the worst.
So it worked. It worked for you.
It was the worst thing.
Any man that wants to date Joy, start off by saying, "Do you know who I am?"
No.
It worked for you.
It didn't work for me. I'm saying, do you know this stupid guy took me to this place? It was a wine bar, upmarket, and he said, "We won't eat here, but after we finish here, we'll go out for dinner. We'll go to somewhere like Ikoyi Club and pick something up." It's like, I'm not supposed to swear on this channel. And that was the end of that. And of course, I didn't go. And, blocked the stupid guy. So, you see, going back to what we're saying, do you know who I am? Meanwhile, Olofuni,
It's important to know who you are.
It is.
And we need to know who people are. Absolutely. And not be watched or be swayed by
what you say.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
But the fashion part that we're talking about.
Back to.
Like you're saying, there's form and place. And also for me, like when you say age, that over time you know better. You should know what suits your body.
True.
The proportions are key.
Correct.
To your shape, to your height. So like you were saying about some stores, they do for smaller sizes. And if you go to these other ones, they do for
smaller people, petite.
Bigger people, taller people. And the quality of the materials they use are better. So it's always a thing that you know your size, you know what the tailor knows the proportions that suit you.
Yeah.
I used to laugh at some of my younger friends, especially the guys. You do this figure hugging, fitted suits. They forget that in a year they would have put on some weight.
Yep.
And so that thing is now looking like you're wearing somebody, your junior brother's smaller size thing. Because you didn't allow for room for movement. And you see some suits, the lines are like, it's like it's almost distressed. So for guys, especially guys that have to wear suits to work, it doesn't have to be fitted to your body like a t-shirt, It has to have some room. The proportions have to be right for you. And that's what we talk about fashion, that over time, we used to follow the trend. Oh, this is what's raining, suits, the shoes, the loafers, the high-waisters, the wristwatches, the makes of certain wristwatches. Now, and then you see a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's L whatever. They go and everything is head to toe. It doesn't mean you have style. You're wearing stuff, It doesn't mean, but the stylish, fashionable people now know how much of this I'll mix with this to put this, and this is what it will look like on the outside. There's some guys, they go to a store, and what's on the mannequin is what
they will buy. It's fair enough.
Yeah, and that's how they wear it. The tie with the shirt,
the whole thing.
They're not changing nothing for now. So
they're not gonna make a mistake.
You get me?
Yeah.
So that's where over time, if you don't have it, you should come into play to say, this, I now know what works for me. Even though it was made like this, I'm going to wear it like this. And most importantly, there's form and there's function. And then you have to try and be comfortable.
Comfort, very key. So that's why I've never understood the corset. My tailor made one for me recently. I did not send her. I've never worn it. I could barely move. And then every time I stood up, the corset went up. So of course I sent her a message after. I said, I did not send you. I don't do corset. So I guess at our age as well, comfort is very key.
I think comfort is very key. And then
not for the youth, not for millennials.
Yeah, because I was just going to say that about the corsets and some other types of clothing. You were saying about the size that you fit your feet into a shoe, because you just like the shoe.
Yep.
Even they don't have your size.
You
say you put in water, soften the leather, then you can wear
things, the shoe horn, and you make it
to stretch it out, and then So this is important to you at the time. Right now, as you're becoming wiser, older and wiser, you're getting to learn that maybe these things don't have to be in this sequence or in this proportion. So
you don't have to have it.
So I was going to ask you before you go to the end, for taller ladies like you, where do you go for shoes? Because I know predominantly shoes stop at like 7, maybe in a box of 12. There's only 1 7. So if you're an 8, for example, how do you do?
It's so that's why I really don't have a lot of shoes. Because when the sale is on, like you said, they bring you all these sizes apart from a size 8, and anybody with big feet will relate to this. So but when you find big sizes, just grab them.
Okay.
So if I go out to an outlet and I find 8, I can buy 8s in 4 colors.
Whoa,
yes. So if you can see, I have certain slippers, all of them in the same different colors. So that's what we do. So we're not choosy.
Okay.
It is what we get that we will buy, because we know that we're not really going to get a lot of options. So.
I have a friend, Efyong.
Yeah.
He used to say to me, whenever I find something he really likes, he just buys. Instead of the usual one, he'll buy 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So that way, he's seen something he likes and it's not waiting for, don't change the style. I just like it like this. It's like jeans. I prefer my jeans. It's not over dry cleaned. It's lost its shine. And that's what he does. That's why, incredible.
Your last words for this series?
Oh, fashion. It's a thing.
It's your thing.
It means more to some people than others.
Absolutely.
It's not really my thing. I could do more, but right now I'm so relaxed.
You don't think you're doing more?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But I like the fashion. I like. It's not even just on me. I like seeing fashionable people.
I do as well.
I like seeing that. Oh, this is your interpretation on this thing. I like that very much. I like individuality.
Correct.
I don't think we're not all born to be the same. And it's the beauty of the different people that makes the world a better place.
Drop mic. Drop mic. I'm not even going to try and outdo that.
It's not no memory.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I will see you again on the next edition of...
Stay tuned to Joyce and Akiaria.
Correct.
MJ Lifestyles and a place to be, You know
it. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.